All right. Welcome to today's episode of Your Daily Scrum. I can't help it. I got to hit the buttons. This is the show about helping you do Scrum a little bit better. We take your questions. We try to answer them. This is all about all of you out there, though. So leave your questions and comments below, like and subscribe so you know when a new video comes out. Check out the description to see how you can take a class with Todd and I to further your Scrum knowledge, and even maybe check out our book, Fixing Your Scrum, Practical Solutions to Common Scrum Problems. All right, Mr. Miller, we've got a very topical question today, right? Mm-hmm. How do we use Scrum in a remote world? So the world has definitely gone remote. People, especially through the pandemic, have learned to work from home, or at least they've gotten better at it. We're now in this remote world. So how can we, we should probably start with, can we still use Scrum? But then assuming that we can, how?
Yeah. This is an interesting topic because as the world emerges from this pandemic, I think that remote work is here to stay. Yep. And my opinion is that Scrum enables remote work, right? Because the roles are very explicit. Generally, you have a sprint that you're operating in that offers a very cadenced format for work, right? And expectations are abundantly clear. I feel like this is a topic of conversation that is really about to heat up, is how we operate in a remote world. I feel like Scrum really enables it, Ryan, because of those accountabilities and that cadence and a sprint and the communications that are asked of a Scrum team, right? What do you think?
I think that Scrum takes the pain out of it, or at least a decent chunk of it. So I think it is possible to work in a pretty good way online. We've kind of proven that over the past year. I think there are some side effects that we need to think about, right? And it has nothing to do, none of these have anything to do with Scrum. It's just the people stuff, right? Mm-hmm. When you work from home, it's hard to set the boundaries, and people are working far more hours than they used to. And there's higher levels of stress and all sorts of things going on. I do think remote work is here to stay. You know, we've been through these cycles before where, we're all going to be remote. Then we're back in the office, and we're going to be remote. We're back in the office. I think we're going to end up back in the office. Mm-hmm. I think people are going to end up in that space, but it's going to be a while. But in the meantime, the teams that I've seen be most successful with these tools, with the remote kind of setup, they've retooled, mm-hmm. right? So now there are certain things that I would change almost immediately with the developers, especially. There are online IDEs, so integrated development environments that allow developers to collaborate on code remotely, right? So that they could actually pair or work together in the code base. So I think there are tools like that are valuable. I think that the video conferencing tools like Zoom especially is almost mandatory for breakouts and discussions and ease of use. Some people would say Microsoft Teams. That's fine too, but we need really good video tools like this. We need to be able to see each other's eyes. We need to be able to talk. We need to have some sense of team. But I think that's going to be the key, right? Are we willing to kind of revamp our tool set and adjust based on this environment? I will say this, I'll be a little controversial. This works. It's not as effective as being together, right? I do not think we're ever going to get to the point, and maybe this is old man Ryan talking, Todd, and maybe this might be the first time in Your Daily Scrum history that we disagree, but I think teams that are co-located and together will have an advantage. And now I don't think it's 100% better. I think they will have an edge over teams that are remote.
Yeah. So I think that there's some kind of blend here that there's a balance, right? I think that as people return, maybe it's being in the office twice a week.
Perfect.
Together as a team. And then the rest of the time remote, because remote is much more convenient, especially if you're commuting out there like an hour. And not only that, but commuting is dangerous. Like, car crashes are a thing. I can't get this out of my mind because this has been driving me crazy. And I'm going to say it on here. And I know a ton of people that might be offended by me saying this. You know what drives me crazy about the remote world?
What's that?
Meetings have become so formal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, do you use my calendar and schedule something with me? Oh, sure. We can't. Okay, we've been chatting for 15 minutes. Can't we just like hop on a call? I mean, I could sit and have a conversation, having a cup of coffee, and we could figure something out in 10 minutes. Why can't we just ad hoc pick up the phone and call or hop on a Zoom? I don't know why it has to be like find a time in my calendar. Like I guess I just prefer the informal thing rather than, so much. And I feel like we're scheduling so much more now, right? Schedule something that's convenient for me.
So when people send me, I mean, no, you're not the weirdo. When people send me that, here, Ryan, here's a Calendly link, and see if you can find time in my life so that I just skip it. I'm like, I guess we don't need to talk. I'll find someone else. I don't do it. And maybe it's old man Ryan and old man Todd, but everything is just so formal and structured. And it's like, can I just call you?
Yeah, right.
Can I just call it? Can we just talk for 10 minutes? And no, I'm totally with you. And even in our classes now, like at the front right at the outset, we set this working agreement. And one of them is, if your kids come in the room, if your pets show up, we're going to pause and say hi.
Yeah.
Like it's okay. Like there's far too many work environments where, it was very like people are in their performance reviews. It was very unprofessional on that Thursday last where your child walked in and waved to the camera. And it's like, no, that's awesome. That's life. Like, so maybe you're right. Maybe there's something in this remote space where it's becoming very fancy and proper, and let's pull back from that. But yes, I mean, to answer the question, as we've kind of rambled off in a weird direction, which I agree with you, right? I think the scheduling is kind of odd. How do we use Scrum in a remote world? Scrum looks the same. The framework is still going to work. I think Todd is 100% spot on that that Scrum really makes this work and makes remote work possible. I do think the tooling has to be a little different, right? We're going to invest in different types of tools to help bridge the gap. But I'm just like Todd was saying, when I say that there's an edge to co-location, I don't think it's necessarily enough to push behaviors. And I personally enjoy rolling out of bed and coming down and doing a show. Like I rather than having to drive somewhere. So I'm totally with you. I'm really curious about our listeners' comments on this one, though, Todd.
Yeah.
I want to hear their thoughts on the remote work, their experiences. Let's fill up this comment section. Yeah, how are you doing?
The good, the bad, the ugly, the funny. Yeah. Like we've all seen some funny stuff. So I think this is a call for our community here to give their opinions, their comments, what they're seeing, how work's going for them. Do they want to return? Are you happy remote? Yeah. Is there a blended model that your company is trying to implement? So this is all new to everybody. Let's put it down here. Let's check it out. Maybe this can spawn a bunch more Your Daily Scrum episodes.
Perfect. All right. So old man Ryan and Todd, we're tired now. And so we're going to head off. But here's all the socials. Like and subscribe so that you know when we wake up from our nap and post a new video. Check out the videos below. The AI thinks you'll like them. We do too. Be sure to check out our book, Fixing Your Scrum, Practical Solutions to Common Scrum Problems. It's a great way to dig into what's going on in your Scrum practice and hopefully get a little help. Check out the comments or the description below. See how you can take a class with us. We'd love to see you in a class coming soon. But yeah, let us know about your ideas about remote work. Leave those in the comments. As far as today goes, we hope you're working well, you're safe, and that your teams are delivering some value. Until tomorrow, Scrum on.